All right, thanks, Mike. Okay, sounds good, thank you. Thanks, Mike.
Anyway, give Campbell a heads up that maybe how you got back to him about this training.
Okay.
I'll get the bureaucratic points.
That's fine. Okay. So we throw in Dan, Samchek, Randy, Patrick, Smith, the both.
Yeah.
Mike Farley work is skipped to be the next one. Then after that, 1 and 2. Actually, after we do the next one, we'll have 5 left. If you want to try to knock out 5 on Wednesday, then you'll just throw it out there.
Okay, it's got potential. Whoever you want to start with, if your other officer wants to wait in the break room, deal with our people eating lunch. There's coffee in there.
Does anybody have parachute for the break from that? The coffee is available.
Far left.
No, I'm fine.
We've got some stuff on there.
You bought your lunch already?
Bourbon?
Bourbon? How what?
Get my attention. All right. All right.
Give us a second to get organized again here. Okay, I'll start off this time. I'm John Sarai. I'm with BCI. We're working on this in a task force type fashion. What we've done is we've kind of got like almost like a panel interview. We've got some questions we're going to go through. That way everyone gets asked the same thing. Please don't feel funny if we ask certain questions. We're trying to get you to go into details and make sure we're getting all the information we can from you. And there are going to be a couple of questions. I'm sure there's going to be kind of an eye roll type thing. It's not that we're belittling you or second guessing you or anything like that. It's just, like I said, we're trying to elicit details here and making sure that we're getting all the information we need. Okay?
Okay.
I'm Scott Carter. I'm a detective sergeant with East Cleveland. I'm assigned to major crimes. Just like you stated, we're not here to judge what happened. We have no opinion one way or the other. We truly are just trying to attempt to find out what happened. I'm assuming probably your union reps or your attorney has advised you that, I mean, we are going to read your Miranda warning. It's not because you're a suspect. It's just it's formality at this point that it be done. All right?
Okay.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to consult with an attorney and have an attorney present during questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be provided to you before questioning at no cost. Do you understand each of the rights?
Yes.
With these rights in mind, you wish to speak to us now?
Yes.
Again, like you said, sort of a standardized questions that we're just going to run down. We've asked everybody before you. We're going to ask primarily the same questions to everybody after you. Let's get off. What's your first name?
Erin, E-R-I-N. O'Donnell, O''Donnell.
Okay. And Erin, where do you live at? This isn't public information. It's going to be redacted, but it's part of the report. What's a good contact number for you? You got a cell phone or?
Cell.
Date of birth. We missed it on the last person.
All right. My first question, just how you're holding up at this point.
Okay.
What's your current assignment there in Cleveland?
3rd District Vice Detective.
And are you assigned to a specific shift or?
It's 4th platoon hours, usually 1800 to 0200.
Do you remember what it was on Thursday? Was it those hours 18?
Yes.
Your shift supervisor?
Sergeant Putnam, Putnam.
And he was working that day, or?
Correct.
What are your, what's your regular day, or do you have regular days off, or how does that work for you?
It varies monthly. In November, we were off Saturday, Sunday. But
Well, that doesn't sound like too bad of it.
no, that's the first Saturday, Sunday we've had in a while. Usually it's Sunday, Monday, but they're trying to work stuff out with the new captain and new commander.
You work any extra duty details, overtime?
Yes, I work
Part-time?
at Tower City.
Is that is that through the city, off-duty, part-time type deal, or? how's
It's
that?
off-duty secondary employment.
Yep.
Commander Stevens runs it.
And when was on Thursday, were you working?
Within 48
Yeah,
hours.
within-
Tuesday to Wednesday, did you work that detail?
Can I check my book?
Sure.
I think I did work that day.
Whatever you gotta do, just relax. This is formality.
That was the 29th? Yes,
Yes.
I did.
You did work it on the 29th?
Correct. I worked 12 to 1800 and went from there straight into work.
How are you feeling that night? I mean, you were groggy, tired, alert. I mean, how was your?
I was fine.
Just fine.
Yeah.
Any sickness, cold, flu?
No.
Jump back for 1 minute. How long you been at Cleveland PD?
I'm going into my 15th year.
Anywhere before that? Any other agencies?
No. Stay-at-home mom.
Big jump. Stay-at-home mom being a cop in big city.
Were you taking any medications prescribed over the counter? Do you normally wear glasses or contacts?
No. I do have them, but I don't usually wear them.
Just to sort of clarify, I mean, you don't need them, or?
Once in a while for reading or on the
Reading.
computer, but for the most part I can see very well without them.
And I somewhat remember you were in plain clothes that night, correct?
Yes.
Remind me, how are you dressed?
I had jeans on, a sweatshirt. I had my black body armor vest that has pockets in the front, says police across the front and the back, and I had a blue jacket over the top, and it had a police on the left breast.
What do you normally carry as far as non-lethal, lethal? I mean, what do you have on you?
My taser. I have my handcuffs. I have extra magazines, hand sanitizer. Do you want me to do the whole thing?
No, I mean,
Flashlight, the usual, the flashlight, then the drug bags.
more so looking for just what kind of weapons, like less than
And then my
taser,
Right.
pepper spray, anything like that.
I did carry my pepper spray, and lately I haven't been because I put an extra flashlight in.
Okay. It was always amazing to me when you've been on the road a little while longer than I have, but when I was on the road, I used to have Perel that would hang from my belt, and everybody would always ask, well, what's that green thing? I didn't care what anything else was, but you just the hand sanitizer. So. Didn't have any backup, firearms, anything like that?
No.
How did you carry? I mean, were your magazines, what condition? I mean, they were fully loaded?
Fully loaded in my pouch right in front.
What, I can't remember what weapon you had there. How many did you have in each magazine?
15, the Glock 19.
You carry a Glock 19?
So 15, 15, and 16?
Correct.
And the magazines are carried in the pouch on the exterior vest, or?
Yes, in my center pouch.
Do you have any personal recording devices, anything like tape recorder, or
No.
some people have the little movie cameras, anything like that?
No.
Let's talk about your car. It's an unmarked car?
Yes.
What kind of car is it?
It's a black Taurus. It has lights in the front and the rear, the red and blue.
Equipped with siren?
Yes.
Everything working that night okay? Or?
Yes, it was.
Anybody else in the car with you?
Yes, Detective Demchak was driving.
Dim check?
Demchak.
No personal dash cam or anything in the car?
No.
What channel do you guys operate on?
TAC 3?
TAC 3?
That's not the 3rd District channel, that's not the general for all the zone cars, or is that
No, it's an extra
an
channel.
extra channel? Okay.
Because we do a lot of undercover work and we don't want to tie up radio for the air. We usually have one on regular 3.
Okay.
Like when we spoke with Nan earlier.
That's fine, that's why I wanted to
You have
clarify.
channel 3, you have the alt channel, and you have tech channel. The alt channel will allow you to hear any of the channels of that are there, but only broadcast on its own.
Okay.
The tech channel is dedicated to itself, so you can only hear if both radios are on the tech, and the same with channel 3.
Gotcha.
So how were you able to hear the pursuit traffic, or?
No, my partner and I had just finished up booking a male we had arrested just prior to 10:30. We had just left the Justice Center after booking this male and had just pulled into the 3rd District parking lot when we observed Sergeant Putnam and Detective Ereg run into their car, and Sarge had his AR-15, so we knew something serious was happening.
So, just so I'm understanding, on TAC 3 though, during the pursuit, were you hearing information on TAC 3 or?
No, we had turned our radio off because when you go up into the jail, I usually have my personal radio that's in my vest on regular channel, and then the car radio's on TAC. I had turned my personal radio off because up in the jail it bleeps and it just makes noise because it says out of range. So I had turned it off and not turned it back on when we got back in the car because we knew we were just heading back to the district to do paperwork.
Do you have any specialized training, any like SWAT, anything? I mean, anything that's
Other than the regular classes that I've taken, now I've done some HIDTA training. I worked 2 90-day details with the ATF.
prior military or?
No.
Qualified this year? Or?
Yes.
Handgun, shotgun, anything else?
Both,
Both.
handgun and shotgun.
Are supervisors, just for my knowledge, is supervisors primarily the only people that have the ARs or?
No.
No, a lot of people, okay. Use of force training?
Yes.
Ever had any prior shootings?
No.
All right, I sort of, you're sort of to go into it, so just, we'll break away here for a second. Just, you guys were booking a prisoner in, and you were coming back down, you said?
Yeah, heading back to the 5th district.
Okay.
Or 3rd district, sorry. It's the 5th, 3rd.
Yeah, I get confused with that still today. So, you see Sergeant Putnam,
Yes,
he's running around with his AR-15, so obviously something's going on.
correct.
So-
They were heading to the car. We pulled up beside them because we had just pulled into the lot. We didn't even get out of our cars. Pulled up beside them and said, "What's going on?" And I don't remember if it was Sarge or if it was E-Reg that said, "They're shooting at the police, turn to TAC 2, or turn to Channel 2. And we did that and heard a vehicle pursuit heading eastbound on 90. I believe at that time they were approaching Chester.
So what happened?
Once they passed Chester and we knew it was pointless to head down Chester to 55th, we started heading north down, I believe we went down East 105. We were determining whether we should take MLK or head towards 72nd. And once they stated they were trying to get off at 55th but missed the exit, I said they're probably going to get off at East 72nd, so let's head that way. And we headed to 72nd. Just prior to us getting to East 72nd in St. Clair, they came through the intersection.
So did you actually see them at the intersection at that point? Or?
Yes.
Okay. What happened after that?
We tried to stay, I don't want to say paralleling, but we tried to stay in the area in case the suspects bailed from the vehicle.
Okay.
So we tried to stay a couple blocks on either side.
Do you, what are you hearing at this point on the radio?
There was someone stating that be careful. I believe the passenger's holding a gun. We heard at one point that the passenger was pointing the gun out the window. Somebody else stated it was a pop can. And then moments later you hear that they were loading. It appeared the passenger was loading a weapon. So be careful, keep your distance.
And is this all prior to you getting the 72nd or after? Or some before? Or?
Some before, some as they're crossing through and still driving.
So were you sort of like stationary at the intersection when they drove past, or?
Yes, yeah, because they were just all driving, and that's when we chose to go up. They went south on, I believe it was Addison, and we went, I believe, south on 71st, or 79th, and maybe they were 71st.
Did you actually see the suspect vehicle at this point, or
Yes.
did you see the occupants inside? Or?
No.
All right, so you go off somewhat, using my own words, parallel them on 71st, and...
On 79th.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Actually, on
79. Okay, and then what happens?
They headed eventually eastbound on Wade Park, and then southbound on, I'm not sure what street, I think it might have been 118th, and then eastbound on Euclid. Again, still broadcasting, keep your distance, because we believe they have guns.
What kind of, are you seeing at any point, are they slowing up, speeding up? What's the suspect vehicle?
The only time that I believe they slowed up was on Euclid, when the zone cars began to back up. We were pretty far back in the pursuit. How did they appear to be driving? As far as, were they following the law pretty much, or? No, they were out of control.
Who was out of control?
Whoever was driving the vehicle, the suspect vehicle.
Why do you say that?
No regard for human life, running lights, driving not in the right lanes.
So they were crossing into opposite lanes,
Yes.
traffic?
They were doing whatever they could to get away from the police at that time.
May sound like a stupid question. Do you have any doubt in your mind that they knew that the police were behind them, or?
Oh, they knew, yes.
All right, so we're on Euclid heading eastbound. We're passing East 118th. What happens now?
Someone called out to notify East Cleveland. Somebody else said Cleveland Heights. They're asking for spike strips. See if anyone has spike strips in the area.
All right.
And then they made a right-hand turn. I'm not sure what the name of that street was. So we took the right after that.
All right, so they made a right-hand turn. You went to the next
Correct.
road, made a right.
Again, just in case a foot pursuit entailed.
If I told you the name of the street, would it remind you, or
Yes.
do you not know?
No, it probably, W.
Wymore?
Right, and we took the street, whatever is right next, east of that.
Would it be Lee? Does that sound familiar?
I believe it was.
So then what happens?
You could see I could see several police cars following them down Wymore, and all of a sudden one of the officers says there's no way out. Somebody might have said this is a dead end, be careful. And as we're coming up, you could see cars heading down. I told my partner to hold up, not to go any further south on Lee, because if they bailed, they were going to come towards us, because you could see a big hill. I figured it would be harder for them to go up the hill. We stopped right there, and you could see the congestion backing up. I could see the congestion backing up at the cars. I told my partner to hop the curb and head over that way. And as we were hopping the curb, I heard a couple shots, and you heard at least one person, possibly two different people, state they're shooting at us. As we pulled the car a little bit further westbound, the car was still coming towards the police cars that were kind of...
I'm gonna show you an overview photo here, just for everybody's benefit here. This is Lee Road here. This is the access. It doesn't really show it too well in this. This is the access drive that comes up from Weimar.
Okay.
This is Lee Road. So you guys, when you said to hop the curb right here, like in here?
We hopped the curb here and came right into this area.
In the grass?
And was on the grass.
Okay.
Correct.
And this is where you start, when do you, I want to put words in your mouth. When do you start hearing shots fired?
Just as we're coming up over the curb, you could hear, I heard a couple shots.
Heard it or heard it on the radio? Or both?
No, both. Yeah, I heard it outside the car. And I told my partner, be careful. And we came up over, and the congestion started right in this area where the cars, and at that point, we kind of ducked down because we didn't know which way the shots were going to go. They said that they're firing. We knew the car was coming back, so we figured, you know, depending on who's firing, they could be coming anyway. My partner pulled a little bit further forward, and we hear a few more pops as we're getting out of the car. There was, I'm not sure exactly where it was, but a police car right here. I'd say we were right in this grass area here. And I went to the front door of the police vehicle that's over here, and it was pretty much...
Let's use this one now. How about that? You got the cars laid out there, okay? This is our suspect vehicle.
Right.
Okay. So go ahead and draw on there to your heart's content of where you guys were about.
Do you want where our car was
Yes.
originally?
Where your car is at, where you got out on foot.
I believe our car was right about here.
Okay.
It might have been a little bit further, like there.
Okay.
I got out on foot and went to the front of this car here.
Okay.
I'm not sure if there was another car here or not. But I know that I had a clear shot from the front of this car to the passenger.
Okay.
Down to...
As I took cover by the front of that car, I looked to see behind because somebody started yelling crossfire, watch crossfire. There was nobody over in the playground area. I looked to the vehicle, and now numerous shots were ringing out. And I could see the driver and the passenger both moving. I thought the driver was shooting, and it looked to me like the passenger was reloading. I drew my weapon. Again, there was nobody on the other side, so I fired several shots into the passenger window, which no longer existed. I don't know if the window was down or if it had already been shattered.
Do you know how many shots?
I shot 12 times. I thought I shot 5 or 7.
And you said at the passenger window, but it wasn't actually there anymore at this point?
Correct.
When you walked up to this cruiser here, where you took your position, was that window still intact at that time, or was it already gone by the time you got there?
I believe it was already gone.
Okay.
Originally you thought it was 5 to 7,
Correct.
and then how do you know that it was 12?
When they asked us to remove our magazine,
Do you remember who asked you that?
I do, but I'm drawing a blank on his name. He's got a brother that's on the job.
Stocko?
Yes, thank you, Stocko. Sergeant Stocko.
Tim Stocko.
ST...
ACHO. Internal Affairs.
You take your whole gun, just the magazine, or what?
He took the whole weapon and then asked for my other magazines. And then he returned them after they checked to see how many rounds were fired.
How long do you think, again, just in your opinion, how long do you think the shooting was going on for?
Seconds.
Do you know where your partner was at this point?
I do not.
Do you know who was, let me ask you, was there anybody at the driver's side of this cruiser?
Yes, there is.
Who was that?
I don't know him well. Byler, or I didn't know his name at the time.
He was at the driver's side of that patrol car?
Correct.
Do you see any other officers around this area?
Detective E-Reg was to my immediate left, and he was yelling out, "Ceasefire."
That was towards the, which part? Where was he yelling it out?
Towards the end of the shooting. There weren't too many rounds going off by then.
Did you see a gun or hear gunfire from the suspect's vehicle?
I believed I heard gunfire, yes.
When this car was coming back towards this way and you were running up, did you see anything else happen?
No, I didn't, because we were coming up over the curb. We didn't have a clear view. There were so many cars.
Did you see it strike the other police car? Or?
I heard over the radio that he struck several police cars.
Along the way, I mean, I understand that, again, my words, you were paralleling the pursuit in most of the regards, but at any point, did you see anything being thrown from the vehicle or suspect vehicle?
No, I did not.
Okay, I'm going to jump back here a second. You come up to where the marked unit is at. You said you thought the driver was firing. What gave you that impression?
Because I saw the passenger's hands or arms that were down towards the lap, which made me believe that the passenger was reloading. And due to the numerous amount of shots that were occurring, I believe that the driver was shooting at the police officers, and then the police officers were responding or returning fire.
Okay, thank you.
How would you describe your proximity to the vehicle during the pursuit?
We were pretty far back. There were numerous cars in front. And again, because we were trying to stay off a block or two, usually there might have been one car with us, maybe two.
How would you describe traffic let's start with maybe the early part of the pursuit. How would you describe the traffic on the streets?
For the most part, the side streets were clear. The only part that was congested was Euclid, but by the time we came through, cars were pulled over.
When did you become first aware of the sex and race of the occupants?
After the shooting.
You knew it was a male and a female at that point?
I believed it was two males.
Have you heard the names by this point, or
I have.
names sound familiar to you? Have you ever had dealings with them in the past, or
Not to my knowledge.
have you seen pictures of them?
Yes.
You don't recognize them, don't remember them from any of their calls or any other situations or anything?
Not that I recollect, no.
Okay.
How would you describe the lighting at the scene here?
Your interpretation.
It was somewhat lit, but it was still pretty dark.
Okay. Now you gotta explain that answer.
There were lights, but I believe they were off on either side in the distance. They weren't like a street light right up above.
Okay. What about with all the patrol cars there?
Other than all the red and blue lights, distracting, but my focus really wasn't on the lighting.
Okay. Did you issue any verbal commands?
No.
Did you hear anyone else issue verbal commands?
Yes, Detective Ereg, and there were quite a few coming off from the northeast.
Anything stands out, I mean, as far as your memory of what they were saying?
Ceasefire. I guess I did issue one when I went to check after somebody else ceased fire and the firing had stopped. I walked over to the passenger because I was so close. I was going to check for a pulse, but there was so much glass and blood, and I didn't have gloves that, and it didn't appear that the passenger was alive. And then I walked over towards the driver's side, and someone was coming up with a shotgun, and I just said, "Don't shoot me." And I checked the driver and was about to check the driver. And again, the same, so much glass and blood, and I didn't have gloves. And someone was yelling, "Call EMS."
Did you hear any of the officers issuing commands to the suspects?
I don't recall.
If you don't know, it's okay to say you don't know. All right.
Someone answered the question, but did you observe weapons from the suspects, or?
When I went to look at them, no, I did not.
So the movements, any other movements that you were saying that you're pretty close to the passenger, do you see her doing anything else? Or you said that she was making some sort of movement that looked like she was reloading. Anything else that you can remember?
No, when she stopped moving, well, I say she because I didn't know at the time, but now I do. When the passenger stopped moving is when I stopped shooting. Do you know where, and again, this is
Subjective.
a subjective, sort of insensitive question, but do you know where your rounds were hitting?
I'm not 100%, but I believe I did hit the passenger.
Do you know where?
Center mass is what I was aiming for.
Some of these questions are the questions he's referring to. You're more than welcome to reach across and slap me across the face on something, okay? But is there any other availability or practicality of other options?
None that I could tell.
Well, okay, let's back up a second here. You're standing here, you just get out of your car, all right? Were rounds already flying as you're getting out of the car?
There were, yes.
Okay, so outside of engaging, there's no other practical options, you get back in your car, drive away, or anything else? That's what I'm at, that's what we're getting at here.
Oh, absolutely not. Other
Okay.
than getting back in my car and leaving, and I wasn't going to do
Curling
that.
up in a fetal position or anything
Right.
like that? Okay.
Any other observations that sort of stick out in your mind as far as other officers' actions?
Anything that struck you funny up there?
No.
You said that somebody was calling or shouting out to call for EMS. Did you call for EMS?
No.
Do you know who called for EMS?
I do not. After the shooting, things subside, what are you doing at this point?
Your actions after the shooting. Did you reload your gun? The
No.
weapons in exchange?
I went down and checked to see how they were, and then several supervisors were arriving on scene and asking anyone who shot to stand in this area, and non-shooters to go to another area. Prior to that, fire came through, and I just asked if they could get by our car, or by the car that was in there, parked up on the side, and they said they could get through.
Where are they going?
To check on, I guess they were called in connection with the shots fired.
Okay. After the fact, you injured at all? Flying
No.
glass, stray round hit you in the vest or anything like that?
No.
No.
Do you remember do you remember any specific statements afterwards from, just what everybody's talking about afterwards, or?
other than the fact that there were a lot of shots fired and people were hitting the ground. That was.
So I meant after this happened, you guys are sort of lined up, I guess, supervisor had you lined up, and the shooters, non-shooters, is anybody making any statements that come to mind, or?
No.
Since the incident, obviously, you've talked to union reps, you've talked to the attorney, have you spoken to anyone else regarding this incident? And I don't know, before you answer it, it's not a bad thing that you did. We just need to verify and know that you've talked to somebody.
I talked to my dad. And then I talked to my best friend Marjorie. She used to be on the job.
Has any of the officers contacted you? Have you contacted any other officers that were involved in this incident after?
Only to see if everybody's okay.
You know which officers those were that you guys were checking in? Is this like everyone's checking in with each other, or somebody in particular?
My partner, Detective Demchuk, Detective Ereg. We talked to our sergeant. He made sure we were okay. And then a couple other guys from the unit called.
That weren't involved in it?
Correct.
Okay.
Will you yourself, in fear of your safety, safety of others?
Absolutely.
Can you describe a little bit?
When the shots rang out, it was, do I crawl into the glove box of my car, or do I get out there and assist my fellow officers? And I'm not a coward, so I got out there to help.
Scared?
Absolutely. I just knew I had a better angle because I wasn't right in front of the car, or I believed I had a better angle.
Do you believe your actions were consistent with training?
Yes.
Do you think that everyone's actions there that night was consistent with training?
Yes.
All right. Here's the two eye rollers now, all right? Has anyone asked you to lie or otherwise try to influence your statement?
No.
Everyone's carrying cell phones with cameras. Anybody pulling them out and taking pictures at the scene or anything like that that you saw?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Did you make any calls from the scene?
Yes. I called my daughter. Couldn't get a hold of her. And then I called my dad and my mom. And when I couldn't get a hold of my daughter, because I didn't know that I'd be home in time to drive her to school, I called my aunt, who stays at my house.
Is there anything else that we have skipped that you think is important that we should know?
No.
Counselor?
I don't think so. Sergeant Putman, your supervisor, was he present on scene? Did you see him?
Yes.
That's all.
So,
What was your call number, your call sign?
3 Victor 83.
You just never asked that. Usually you did everybody else.
You guys went to from channel 3 to channel 2. Did you stay on channel 2 for the entire duration of the incident?
Yes.
And your partner was driving the car?
Yes.
700 pages of notes.
You guys are killing a lot of trees.
For the state, we do wholesale. Believe me.
You want
We step out a second.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely. You guys believe in air conditioning here in the state, or is it,
Spin it down, hit the run button.
oh, okay. I didn't know if that was an engineering tactic or...
That's what the sweat out the investigators.
Yeah.
Well, you know, but you got, they put these personal alarms in here in case we're interviewing and shit goes south, but they never told anybody. We've had people sit down and they start playing with it and they pull the alarm and these things start screaming and nobody knows what's going on and everything else. So I'm being very conscientious of this thing here. Yeah, dump number 18.
Yeah, I haven't asked it and I don't like
Neither
it.
am I, no.
I mean, we'll find it out whenever his name bring it up.
No. The question here is about prior discipline. And everybody gets worried about that, but what I have found through the course of events in other cases, I've got prosecutors go, good, they got discipline in their file. How many attaboys do they have in the file too? So just bypass that entirely because we want to know.
You're not gonna get one of our guys without discipline.
Well, you know what? That's fine. But the thing is, too, there's the other side of the coin. Okay.
Yeah.
How many people said, you know, he helped me change a flat tire, thank you, or whatever. He was courteous when he took the report when my house got kicked in. You know, those weigh in as well. So.
Our department passes out discipline like anything, and
Oh, there's a few that are like that.
awards like never deposed. So.
But the thing is, people write a letter or something like that. That goes in the file because it's supposed to go in the file as well.
Not ours.
So.
Amen. Good.
You also missed number 17. That's the one I was looking for.
No, I think I asked her.
No.
She said no. I think
Oh,
I
okay,
answered her in the
yeah,
narrative.
you came back to that, or I did.
And some of the stuff that she covered in the narrative, I just...
She ticked off a bunch of those for us.
Was really got bumped. Look at this, probably. Looking for dates. So. How long ago these clear?
She had an initial, but...
Yeah, I know.
I've been in ECU since '99.
Tony's on tomorrow.
Yeah, Tony, good guy. I like tomorrow on it.
Yeah, Tony's a long time.
Yeah, he is.
Little Robert De Niro.
Where is he at now? I don't know where he was. Over in the 6th.
Fourth, Knights.
4th? I know when he got hired over there and then got put on his own, he went over to the 6th. I think he was... You see him where he was. I probably should be out.
See me keeping quiet?
No.
We gotta do the brown Sunday.
What did your headlights break because you interviewed her too this time?
You know what, I get a lot of recruits, so I need more to go make sure it's okay. That's my only.
I'll try to do that.
Yeah, right.
I don't think, I don't think it's, just was such a nice day last time. I was working on my sister's pole barn, and she was way out.
Yeah.
Like, probably equal as far as this almost. It's just out in the towards south of Medina. So we drove all the way back downtown. Kind of been an hour to get there.
Very cool. Channel 3 wants to do an interview. You all want to step out and let them finish the end.
Okay.
Your rounds. Get some calls done here.
This is,
Pleasure, Mr. Paul.
it'll get worse.
I don't think so either.
Part of the problem is they get this thing all zoned off, and if they open other doors, it just throws the computer into a frenzy. It's, you know, it's like the shopping malls. The malls themselves have no air conditioning. They suck out of all the stores.
Right.
It's the same idea here. We used to have a maintenance guy here. He'd leave the garage door open over there, and it would suck all the heat or cold out of the garage, and it'd screw up the hallways. And
Tell you a job with PCI, is that civil service for the state or?
it is civil service protected. We post an opening, and literally we get 1,000 applicants. We weed through, get the top 10, at least on paper, unless there's some headhunting done here we know, and then we can help you get into anything.
How often? Once a year?
Constantly. We're just settling our contract, and rumor has it Columbus wants to hire another 43 guys.
Upon reflection of the question, did she take a picture? She took a picture on herself from a distance, I guess from the vantage point when you...
Where we first
entered.
came in.
And that was triggered by the question about another officer, so answer that question.
Okay, so you took a picture on your phone
Yes.
from, okay, give me the point of view again. So you're parked up here?
Yeah, it's probably right in this area.
Oh, from where you fired at?
Correct.
You still have it on your phone?
I believe I do.
Okay, check that for me.
And as you're doing that, explain the other matter.
My partner who was next to me, well, coworker who was next to me at the time, Detective Ereg, took one closer up, and I asked him to send it to me, and he did.
Did you send this picture anywhere?
No. Here's the photo that I took.
Okay, this was your point of view from that night.
Correct. Did it go black?
No, it's, okay. Some of these you can rotate them through. Okay, no problem. All right. Would you have a problem signing a consent for me so we can walk back to cybercrime so they can pull that picture off your phone?
No, that's fine.
Is there the other photograph? Do you have that still?
Yes.
Can you just email that photo to Cybercrimes?
Technically, best evidence, we're supposed to pull it.
Just think it'd be easier.
Probably.
What, to forward it?
Yeah.
Let me double check. I would rather pull it just to follow evidentiary procedures. It's just real simple. We just want one picture off of here. Two pictures. The one that
Yeah, we're not requesting anything else.
Yeah, we're not going to carve through anything else.
It's all pretty much photos from part-time and
I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I want that image
So-
and the one that you Eric sent you.
This is one you took?
Right, that's where I was shooting from.
Okay. Where's the other one?
Is it Verizon?
Yes.
What make phone?
Samsung.
Is that the other photo?
Yes.
Okay. I'll pass this over to you. You can read the legalese, and we walk back to cybercrime, so give them a heads up, ready to pull 2 pictures for us. We can leave that here right now.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Everything's fine. All it says is granting us consent to go through all the cyber stuff, and we're going to keep the image, a copy of the image.
I just want to confirm that this is just for these 2 photos. It talks about all this other jargon.
Yeah, I don't, this is their form, so I'm not familiar with it. Let me see if I can just have him, would you feel more comfortable if he just added here to,
Only the 2 photos, nothing else. That seems to be pretty broad
Yeah.
beyond that.
I'm sure it's like a generic form they're really used with it. John, can we put more specific language on here just relative to one of those 2 photos?
The other language seems pretty broad.
It is, because I just went back and they said basically for the software, they got to dump everything to pull those images out.
We don't consent to that. I mean, we're happy to forward it to you.
Well, the other alternative then is then you're going to make us seize it and write a warrant.
Yeah.
You maybe want to have a discussion with him if
Yeah.
there's maybe anything else on the phone. Maybe you want to have a discussion with him in private.
There's not.
Well, let's have a conversation in private.
Okay.
We're not going to destroy evidence, that's why we had the conversations.
Right.
So you're saying that So I understand, they're gonna like take everything.
They just do a full dump of the phone, and we'll pull those pictures out. What's that? If you want, our cyber crimes guys are in there, or Dennis or Mark will be able to explain it too.
That's the problem, you put evidence on your private phone. We're not gonna delete it. Well, good, because I hate that the charge with a felony for something stupid.
That E-Reg. Her photo isn't very, that other guy. I need to ring him out, I need to remember.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got there talking about that. Everyone's got to take a picture.
Don't let me forget, she still hasn't.
Yeah, that's why I got that sign there.
Yeah.
Quarter after 2.
Yeah, careful, I've been moving this thing in the drawer.
Kitchen ones. It's just one more we gotta write.
What's our favorite crime?
Yeah, print and signature and counselors, you can witness that also. Give you that one, how's that? And actually, you get that if you get initial off on that too, that you have as your doodles on that spot. And signature on that one.
I'll do it opposite.
Okay. On the drawing here, if you can just initial off on that as well. And while my brain is functioning here, first page of notes for you. What is your badge number?
1027.
Excellent. Give me a few moments and we'll take care of this.
Leave that open, get the cool air in here.
They were just commenting how warm it is in here or something.
Tried.
Yeah, if they don't like that thing, but I don't think it's. you eventually move your car? Like after the shooting?
Yes, we were told by a supervisor to move it.
Did you pull in front of, or pull over here? Is that
Yes.
what- Okay. Just showing that it's like a lighter colored car that representing
Where
what
what?
kind of vehicle was it?
A Taurus, black Taurus. We moved on to the playground.
Oh, okay, okay.
On deck, Sergeant Coleman and Sergeant Daly from the 2nd. They were part of the pursuit.
Yeah, nobody ever statements.
Okay.
So let's clarify that then. Each district has its own marching orders per se.
Its own chain of command.
Yes.
So just because 5th District boss tells 5th District to terminate, doesn't necessarily mean for you to terminate.
If the 5th District boss came over Channel 5, I would have not heard the 5th District boss say that.
Okay, gotcha. Something else I want to revisit here. This job's going to be more and more like Columbo than anything else. One thing I forgot to ask. You guys were running your parallels,
Yes.
kind of paralleling this. You said at one point you could see the whole caravan go by. All right. Did you see the suspect vehicle?
It depends on what intersection it was.
Okay.
For the most part, only the zone cars.
How many times were you able to see them crossing in front of you or running parallel to you, or?
I don't know exactly.
Okay. During the pursuit, did you see the suspect vehicle?
Initially saw it on St. Clair by East 72nd.
Uh-huh.
And maybe one other time, and I'm not sure where it would have been. And then not till the end.
Okay. You're watching the whole caravan go by, the zone cars. Any other agencies you see in there? Are they all Cleveland cars?
I believe they were Cleveland.
Any unmarks in the procession that you noticed? Or are they all marked cars?
There were a couple unmarked.
Okay. So you didn't see the highway patrol car in there, or the sheriff's car, or anything else like that?
No, I didn't.
Okay. I think there's something else now. This should be relatively quick. All pictures are stored on an SD card in your phone, so all you gotta do is pull the card, copy that, and be done. About how fast do you think you guys were going during the pursuit?
I don't know.
Guesstimate?
Since I wasn't driving, sometimes we were going pretty fast. I really have no idea.
You guys are running lights and siren as well as everybody else?
Yes.
I'm a little slow. Help me out with this, Ken. 3V, that's third district
Our
vice.
district V is, you know what, let me do a call sign, cheat sheet.
Okay.
I'm also going to do a V class cheat sheet tomorrow, so you'll understand the V days when they say,
Okay.
I'm a GV class, or I'm an H, so you'll know what days they are off each day on there.
Okay.
But that would be third district vice, and then any of the 80s are vice cars. So 80 would be a supervisor, 81, 2, 3 would be sequentially numbered
So
vice
just
cars.
those 83rd vice car.
Yeah. This vice doesn't necessarily set shifts. The third number usually designates what shift they're on,
Okay.
except in the case of vice.
So it's just, okay.
So, but 80 is your sergeant.
Correct. 3 Sam 80.
The second designation is an S, it's for a supervisor.
Supervisor.
So, and that's standard. All the SAM 50s are the commanders. So 1 SAM 50 is first district commander, 2 SAM 50 would be second district commander. And I'm the one that invented that, so I know this best.
Oh, okay.
We get the right guy here.
Yeah. Although it's not being used the way we wrote it up for the 10-hour shifts, but
Okay. You guys came up this way? Or you came up Lee Road?
We came up Lee.
Okay, so basically then, start with this one. You guys come up here, and then Baja the curb here,
Right.
come across this part, and you keep driving down the grass.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. I appreciate you coming out with the picture on the phone, with the butt, but, it's just one of those things because we need to know what goes on. There have been many a time where someone grabs a picture right away at the scene, and by the time crime scene gets there, things have been kicked and moved and changed and everything else. And the flip side is nowadays is you get too many people with 2 pictures and put them up on Facebook. And
Yeah, well, yeah.
I had a case where an agency asked for pictures in the case, and 2 weeks later they were on some guy's website out of New York. I know I didn't link them. I know kind of where they went. I called that agency for them to start an internal on that because that should never been released. So it's just one of those things. I appreciate people coming up and going, yeah, well, I did get one. I just want to make sure this is my point of view. This is what I saw.
Right.
So. When you saw that whole caravan go by, how many cars were rented at that time?
On Euclid when they were by us?
Sure. From where you could see it there, where do you think? About how many cars went past?
At least 10.
Okay. And
Where were you at when you saw that thing? On Euclid, you said?
Correct.
Did you ever get the chance to broadcast any radio traffic? Did you call out anything?
I called out, I remember the female who was calling out the chase, I found out later, was Sergeant Coleman, said, I'm not sure what street we're on, and I said, you're westbound on Dibble, approaching Addison. And that's what I said.
Did you say she was calling out the chase?
Yes. Given directions.
Okay.
Sergeant Coleman?
Yes.
She's 2nd District Vice.
See what's going on with that.
just like, you know,
You're still dumping her phone?
Huh?
I'm waiting on the finish dumping her phone.
hey, that's Steve.
Yeah.
I'm just sending you a note.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Still on video, I'm sure, so. How you doing?
All right.
Okay. We can wait outside. This house is set here. Got 2 bumps on a log. Remember, I thought it was you that said we're going to continue, there's this disregarding, this happened in our patch or something like that. I thought that the disc of that tape referred to a District 5 transmission. So,
I'm pretty sure it says business regards should not be
terminated, but they then asked for time. So give me back with boss, they asked, give me back the time. But, you know, it's terminated. I can tell you the part of it, you can go into it, for some, it's a real short one.
I know, I'll watch it and say, show around at the Fed line. But at the end of it, her sergeant terminated. Nothing wrong with seeing her. Really fast, another reference. Wouldn't she tell, wouldn't she hide to the end soon, or something? Yeah. Because the only time we ever put was on the gun. Oh, okay, you said, I don't know, anyway. She was furious, though, that the crash came. Yeah.
They were ordered off.
She must have messed that up. She was trying to get into this thing the whole time. that much. No, the disseminate from the crime scenes. I don't know if there's people taking actual pictures from that. Actually, we never asked, because sometimes we'll ask me to take a picture of the scene. What did Erin get? Erin gave me the impression. Yeah, but I think that.
Have they criminalized it, or they make it the offense to service committees to the seven?
Yes, I take evidence for them all the time when I work. That's what's on my phone. Yeah, that's all on my phone. But that's why I did it. That's why I did it. It was just second nature. Yeah. That's what I was used to.
Come done.
Thank you.
She says, very sure saying matters.
So once they get that, they
6
see
calls
that
and
they're
8
there, we
text
can look at that from
messages.
this file, or whatever we normally do, but primarily,
I mean,
it's part of your investigation in this case.
This case,
To disregard all the personal
Yeah.
stuff that's on there.
So,
Well, there's nothing bad on there.
But I mean, well, just your personal, there's no child porn and stuff, there's nothing in connection with this case.
Yeah,
It's just
I've
but like I said, we don't want,
that's it.
we have bigger fish to fry in this case than tampering and obstructing and
Yeah, I know.
nonsense, so.
I said, the bad news is, I don't know if you've ever had it, you guys should do it. It's like, this is, how can I say this? It's not the point of the case here, but you want to do something silly that's going to, that should be a felony.
Right.
Over something like this, please,
Well, as you can see, I always take evidence photos, that's what I do, so it's second nature.
Never go and spend $100 this Christmas and buy yourself a point shoe camera.
Right.
So it's just easier that way.
This is always with you though.
That's the problem.
Right.
But you know what? The issue is this one. And then I've got. I got mine. I don't know about that today.
Yeah, they issued us one, it'd be nice.
And get all those pockets in the back of this. One more thing to put in there. I was up at Dodds at Thursday Carnegie over the weekend at the camera show. The Nikon rep had a camera. I swear to God, it's about the size of a pager. He had it on a lanyard around his neck. It looked about that big. It's like, seriously, he had a little zip cord that you let go and fly back up. That's all it would be. It's not in the way. Yeah, it was nice. Erin, thank you. Appreciate everything. Anything else comes out, reach out to these guys. They can reach out to me.
Okay.
All right. Don't be afraid to reach out to people. Okay.
All right.
I appreciate it. You go take care of a few things and we'll get the last guy done here. Let me shut this off and finalize and jump on glass.